This is the northern white rhino. There are only 2 of its kind left alive today, and both are female. Sadly, that makes the extinction of this species inevitable. As my good friend and inspiration, David Attenborough, just said, it's too late for us to save the northern white rhino. It is an animal that you and I will never get to see. And they're not the only ones at risk. The UN report has found that up to 1 million species are at risk of extinction by 2050. And up to 30% of species are at risk by 2070. Many experts believe that a 6th mass extinction event, like we haven't seen since the dinosaurs, is already well underway. And it's not just a little bit of wonder we lose from the world with each animal that goes extinct. There are many real-world consequences too, like an increase in disease. It tends to be your larger predators that go extinct first. It allows more common disease-carrying species such as rats and mosquitoes to spread. I did my degree in zoology, and every job for a budding conservationist such as myself essentially boiled down to the manual collection or analysis of data. So here I am, at Atos, in digital, because that's where I can make a difference. I believe that technology can empower everyone to be a conservationist. Like the everyday consumer. The everyday consumer can be a conservationist with every single product that they buy. But the challenge they face when trying to make that impact is trust. Can I get a show of hands, or if you're online, raise your hands if you've ever done shopping at a farmer's market? And can you keep your hands raised if you're confident you know where that food has come from? Some hands gone down, some still up. And can I get a show of hands if you've ever done shopping at a supermarket? And again, can you keep your hands up if you're confident you know where that food's come from? Pretty much everyone down. And there's the problem. Despite all the labels out there, we don't know what we're buying. We don't know if we're getting a nice, tasty beef burger or Tesco's very own Boss Burger. So the question is, how can we give confidence to those consumers who want to make that impact? The solution is blockchain. Blockchain is a distributed ledger technology, which can enable you to track every step a product takes until the moment you take it off that shelf. Let's use salmon as an example. Salmon is a keystone species, which means it's of vital importance to its local environment and other animals in its food chain. Oh, it's also delicious. I love it. So I'm not going to preach at you to stop eating it. But what I am going to do is inspire every one of you and empower you to make that sustainable choice. And I'm going to demonstrate this by following a salmon's blockchain journey from bait to plate. So here we have our salmon swimming around in the sea. When it gets picked up by a fishing boat, the fisherman will affix a tag to our salmon, and devices on the ship will immediately scan it, uploading all the information we have about our salmon to a database. The coordinates it was caught, by what boat, and what method of fishing it was using, and the captain's name who's responsible for that information. And that's all uploaded to a block of information. And here's our first key feature of blockchain. Each block has its own hash. Think of this as a password of randomly generated numbers and letters. And the important part is, if we decide to change any information about our salmon, say we want it to be caught in Scotland as opposed to the Pacific Ocean, it will generate an entirely new password. So, our salmon continues along its journey. He docks at port, gets processed, he hitches the ride on a cargo ship, gets on a lorry, gets put on the shelf in your local supermarket. And a block of information is made at every step along that journey, each with its own password. Enter our second key feature of blockchain. Not only does each block have its own unique password, but also the password of the block before it. This creates a dependency. So if our supermarket decides that he wants his salmon to be caught locally in Scotland, it will change that data and password in our first block. And then that will change the data and password in the next block, and so on, until we have an entirely new chain of information. So the question is now, how do we know what's real and what's not? Enter our third key feature of blockchain. It's distributed. So everyone in our network, from our fisher boat captains to our supermarket managers, has a copy of that blockchain. So if our supermarket is suddenly showing a brand new set of passwords, we can say, no, you've changed something, your data isn't correct. The blockchain will identify this and then immediately correct it, so it's the same as everybody else's. So, as a consumer, we can go into our supermarket, we can take the salmon off our shelf, we can scan the barcode and see its entire journey as I've just laid out before you. How far it's travelled, what processes it's been through, and how it was caught. And this doesn't just apply to salmon. This could be any single product you pick up off the shelf. So we can directly protect our animals through preventing overfishing. We can protect their habitats, or even just select one with a smaller carbon footprint. Blockchain can enable us all to be a conservationist, but it's up to us to bring that art of possible to life. But blockchain that might be off in the future, might be difficult to develop. What if I told you there is a technology out there right now which can enable everyone in this room and online to be a real, in the field, data gathering conservationist? Well, I believe AI can do exactly that. AI, simply put, processes large amounts of data and figures out patterns in it. Think if you start off a new Spotify account, after listening to 100 songs, you'll be able to analyze that data, work out patterns, and give you some great recommendations to listen to. So, how does this help you be a conservationist? Well, each year, the UK government asks the public to go into a field, spot a butterfly, identify it, upload what you saw and where to a website. And they give you this chart to help you do it. Now, I am not sure about you, but I could not tell the difference between a small tortoise shell and a painted lady, especially if I've got one flapping around in the air. So I thought, what if there's a better way? What if we could just take a picture of it and get AI to identify it for us? So that's exactly what I did. I took 12 pictures of each of the butterflies from this chart and uploaded it to a database using AI, using Google's AI teachable machine. And I trained a model using those pictures. I then selected a picture of a butterfly I couldn't identify. I thought this one in particular was a small tortoise shell because of the white patterning you'll see underneath. But as you can see, with a relatively high degree of certainty, this is in fact a painted lady. And here's the beauty of AI. The more pictures we take, the more information that we give it, the better it will become at identifying the species we have taken a picture of. And it's so important to get this accuracy and understand the butterflies because they're a great indicator of climate change. But then I thought, what if we could take this further? What if any one of us could take a picture of any animal, anytime, anywhere, and immediately have AI identify it and upload it to a database? We could gather an unprecedented amount of biodiversity data like we've never seen. And then I thought, what if we could take it even further than that? Well, I believe through the Internet of Things, we can. The Internet of Things, simply put, is connecting lots of devices into networks, connecting those networks to the Internet. Think of your Alexa in your house. It can connect your phone and your TV, and then also all those devices to a cloud. What if we applied this to conservation? What if we could get all the information from every temperature sensor, camera trap, and animal tracker, combine that with that database we just made and satellite data to get the most complete picture of life on our planet as we've ever known? Then, using our good friend AI, we can analyze this data and make patterns in it and model what our planet might look like going forward. Using the mountains of data and analytics available to us, we can make informed decisions on how to best protect the species all around us, from the highest governmental process to the lowest local community project, to the salmon you take off your supermarket shelf. But that picture we've just made currently looks bleak. But I believe with the right application of technology, all of which Atos can provide, we can all change it. Nature is currently declining at unprecedented rates. By the time we begin to stabilise, presuming we even meet the targets set out by the Paris Agreement, which based on COP26 isn't looking likely, we could have already lost 10% by 2050. That means maybe no more cheetahs, no more puffins, gone. And just 20 years later, another 20% of species could be lost to us. Conservation isn't just something researchers can do. It's not something that just people can do. It's something everyone can do, from the regular consumer to businesses like Atos. It's something as a society we all need to do. So, what is my digital dream? My digital dream is to use technology to empower everyone to save the species all around us. My digital dream is to save the world, one byte at a time. Thank you very much.